And welcome back to another episode of Disciplined Stoners. I'm your host, Ellevan.
My name is Winnie, and we are the gateway drug to mindfulness.
And today, we didn't do the intro prayer. We're chatting with Rob. We love Rob. We got to do it now.
He lets us film here.
We got to do it. Let's do it together. Yeah! Get in here.
Rob came in for the prayer.
Yeah, bring it in for the prayer. Come on. May this next segment be filled with abundance, joy, love, compassion, friendship. May all of the things we speak about and people we think about and speak about be done so with love. And may this go on to increase our personal and professional lives in ways that we can't even see.
And so it is.
So it is.
Thank you. Rob is an art curator, and we will have him properly on the podcast as soon as he lets us.
He's the reason why we're here. Our space.
Here is where you are.
Here's where we are, in the Meta Milky Way.
Yeah.
This is your space.
Okay.
I love
it away.
it. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Rob.
See you soon. Win, how are you?
It's been an emotionally unstable day, folks.
It's been a wild day. We've been high and medium and low, and we had a really wonderful live stream that, we were extremely vulnerable in and honest, and then we had some waves and some changes and some dates in our professional life. Potentially not. It's just all, we're realizing that reality is just this constant reflection of your belief and reflection of your own thoughts, and your state of being, like your state of energy, definitely determines the quality of your thoughts, which determines the outcome of your reality. And then there's also wisdom to, we sit around and talk about it, but then there's people who are just being it. There's this ironic level to the study of mindfulness that we've committed ourselves to.
Yeah. Fuck, I had a thought and then I lost it. And now my thought is that I feel like this weed seems like ant-like.
Ant-like?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean.
When I touch it, I feel like it's just like ant-like. It's really nice weed.
Okay, so do you want to... We don't have to dive deep. We can just talk about the cool shit that we got coming forward, too. We got Can Expo coming up.
Can Expo's coming up. I'm teaching a yoga class every day of Can Expo. I think, here's the thing, is that we got a lot going on,
We're
and
doing
that's
a lot.
so great, and I love that.
You just came from helping at a yoga studio.
Yeah, that I don't know. Let's just shoot the let's not.
Let's not go
Let's
in
just shoot
so
the
deep.
shit.
Let's just shoot the shit. Let's just have a cool fucking breeze of an episode. Why do we always have to go so psychologically deep?
Do you think that there's any 45 to 55-year-old dads just freaking out every time they every time they realize that Best Buy no longer has DVDs?
Best Buy has no more physical media. Done. No more DVDs, no more video games.
It's gone. It's a thing of the past.
So not only will kids not get that trip to Blockbuster or Rogers Video, they can't even go in and buy a movie. Remember looking at the back of a VHS?
Yeah.
Oh, that was nice.
Even a CD, but yeah.
Now musicians are putting out LPs.
Yeah.
Not DVDs.
Yeah.
They're still putting out vinyl.
Vinyl. Yeah, vinyl's
Yeah,
definitely
vinyl is making a comeback.
Yeah.
I don't know if DVDs have the same allure that vinyl has.
Yeah, vinyl's like that couple steps back.
Yeah.
You know, that makes it novel.
And the sound on a vinyl
It's
is
so
just, you don't get
warm.
that experience.
The whole album.
Yeah.
You've got a storybook there. You've got a good sized picture on the front.
Yes.
You know, and you can put a storybook inside.
It itemizes the art of it, like the photograph of the artist or the design of the cover. Yeah,
It makes me want to get one right now. Do you have a record player?
No, but I have some LPs.
Yeah, you
Nice.
have beautiful JPs. It's so nice. It's a piece of history too. We go, where do you do comedy? At the Corner? And at the Corner they have Yo, let me see that. Sick. Shout out JP.
That's an unwrapped.
Let's go.
That's gonna be worth a lot of money.
Let's
You guys have
go.
to help me unbox the gift box I got.
Yes,
Okay.
let's do
I
that.
have to do some unboxing.
Shout out JP Sachs.
And LP.
Me and this guy were the only white boys at Rise. And
we have to go back.
he's crushing it.
We have to go back to Rise.
1000%. I talked to Randall. I see Randall the other day. Well, at an event that he was doing. So beautiful. Like, look at that. You get this actual thing in your hand. I'll give you that, Rob.
You know what's funny
That's
about
beautiful. Thank
my day that I had is that, like, I lost my shit today. You
When he
guys.
got mad, she was caps locking.
Yeah, and every time I lose my shit, I think it's so funny when I'm out of losing my shit.
Right.
Like, me losing my shit is the most hilarious thing ever. Like, it must be hard not to laugh.
Well, I'm just like
I'm
today.
ridiculous when I get angry.
When you were losing your shit today, I was just like, yeah, like I'm agreeing with you.
I know you were being very good.
I was like agreeing with you. I was like,
Yeah, I was like, I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be doing whatever.
I'm like, yeah, a simple request would
I
have
was
sufficed. I
yelling
agree.
over text.
Caps.
Put in the comments if you cap locks over text and if you do it when you're angry. Why does it feel so good when you're angry to type in cap locks?
Forcing your point.
Those big cap locks have really got some emotion behind them.
You say what you want to
Or
say
if
in the
you're-
biggest letters possible.
Or if you're very excited, that's another time that you want to use caps locks.
Yes. Dude, that's so funny. Yeah, but we've been handling it well. We got some interesting news today, and we just remained very professional about it. We had a very, kind of deep dive earlier today, live stream. So, yeah, I mean, all of this is kind of exhausting, too. Like, just like life in general. Like,
Well, what was the news you got?
we have date. Well, we can't really talk about it because it was an announcement that wasn't made.
Yeah.
And it's like
Thank
with a
God.
big brand, so it's like
We can talk about it with you after.
Yeah, we'll tell you after for sure. And it's still gonna happen just next year, and it is around cannabis policy. The reason why the event got canceled is because of like something that shouldn't exist.
What event got canceled?
We can't talk
Oh,
about
you
that.
can't
We
talk
can't
about
say
it.
it.
Got-
Yeah,
oh,
I'll tell you
okay.
later. Yeah. But like overall, I'm just saying we
That
will
doesn't have
talk
a
about it
filter.
eventually.
No, I noticed that.
It's just like
Thank you.
so
You're
just
welcome.
like it's all good and like
Sometimes
it's
life has to come unfiltered.
it's ultimately all
Amen.
good, but just like like I don't know, just like managing emotional fluctuations, which you got to do, and just like remaining.
'Kay, I was on my
professional and all
bike,
that, and then
and-
and then you got to deal with the personal implications of that emotion. That's basically what I'm getting to. Is things happen, it's all good.
I was on my bike, left the house shaky. Wasn't shaky beforehand, left the house shaky. And then I was on my bike just being like, yo, you just had this crazy entire conversation about how you know that you have a choice right now. Like, I'm talking to myself as I'm on my bike. You have a choice right now to continue this like shitty attitude or to like find something else. And I was doing it. I was like, okay, everything is working out for me. Everything is working out for me. I was holding lights and a fucking stand in my backpack, and they kept like leaning off to the side, and I kept like trying to push them over as
And
I'm
she didn't
cycling
need
in
to take
Toronto
these.
at rush hour. Okay. And I'm just like, everything's working out. I'm really going for it.
Patronizing yourself.
And then I get off my bike, and there's no bike things close to the studio, so I have to get off at fucking Bay.
So you manifested another hurdle for yourself.
Manifested another hurdle. Everything's working out. And then I just
Stay positive.
started losing it. I started sweating. That's when I like can't handle it anymore. When you feel beads of sweat dripping on your
Underneath
body.
your sweaters.
Yeah, and oh man,
And your
I
coat.
just I fucking lost my shit at
Like, I
that
thought
point.
she
People were like, I accidentally banged one of the lights against like a stop sign or something, because that's how far it's sticking out of my backpack.
And she already banged it twice, leaving our place twice. Same door twice. Like, walk back in thud, walk back out, boom.
It didn't want to work when you started
Yeah.
That one, yes.
So we gave it a little shake.
It worked.
Yeah,
It worked.
It did work. Praise.
Yeah. And then people, the light banged up against a stop sign or something. It made a loud noise, and it was rush hour in Toronto. So I just got like, I'm starting to sweat, and then I got like 10 just heads like towards me, and I was like, I'm okay, thanks. And like I kept walking, and it was just so ridiculous. Like I wish that I didn't behave like that, but in that moment, I couldn't be anyone else, I feel. Do you have any advice, or like, do you have anything to say on this? I feel like I couldn't be anyone else. I was trying. I wanted to be.
No, I love that. I think it's the way that you formulate your day, but you got to nip it in the bud before it starts. At that point, it was too late. You got to ride it out once it's too late. You're at the bottom of the hill. The momentum is the way it is. You didn't watch your thoughts. You didn't watch your feelings. It doesn't matter if you were blaming and who you were blaming. It's just that your emotional state is as it is. You spent the first quarter of your day, or not quarter, but like the first thing you did was get up and go to a yoga studio and teach, right? Mm-hmm. Then you came back and went to bed.
Yes.
Then you got up and then you kind of did stuff around the house, and then we live streamed.
Yeah.
And then we live streamed for like an hour and a half, and I was trying to be the most optimistic guy in the world, as I often try to be, and you were telling me how that's selfish and unrealistic and stupid to try and be positive all the time. So you're married to a reality that is more 9 to 5 than entrepreneur, dreamy, live, manifest, magic, whatever, live your dream. Whether you are, we're always living what we dream of in our manifestation, because you can't not do that. Your thoughts are your reality. But I think there's a tier in your certainty that causes tremor that ends up becoming emotional instability before you can catch it, and it's too late by then. Like, that's all too personal, all too on the head, I think, but like ultimately, I think that unless you have like clarity in your lifestyle, like clarity in what you're doing and what to expect and kind of like where to put your energy and focus, I think you're like tired, you're doing two things at once. I think that can be so challenging. I don't know how you do it. I'm impressed by it, but I can't do it. Like, I would break like far before you did. So I just think like it's too late. By the time you're trying to tame the bull's out of control.
Yeah.
So that's my advice, is like, if you're gonna, but then
the only way is to get out ahead of it. You're saying.
The only way is to get out ahead of it, basically, because I'm not saying anything's wrong.
It would be fucking cool if you could like there's a way. There's a way for Winnie in the future. There's a Winnie who has the meltdown has begun. The full-on expression of the meltdown has begun, and there is a Winnie who knows how to say, I'm gonna just settle this right down. I'm gonna breathe through this. I'm still gonna feel it, but right. my outer expression isn't going to be a reflection necessarily of what I'm feeling inside. Maybe,
but you can't fool nature. You can't fool the universe.
That's fine, but you can respond.
So here's what I'm telling you. Your only response to change it while the momentum's already going is, can you let it go? Can you let it go right now? Can you let it go? You can't. Ego Winnie
I can't
needs
let
to be
it
right,
go,
so
but I can change the thought.
But you can't change the thought from light blue to dark red. You can change the thought from light blue to dark blue. You can't go across the universe immediately, so you have to let it go. So changing the thought and letting it go is the same thing. Like,
no.
All you're doing is focusing on, even though you're trying to use affirmations, you're on your bike and you're like everything's working out. You can say whatever you want, but when you make the statement, the energetic impression on your life, that's what you're really saying. It doesn't matter what lyrics are coming out. You're gonna continue to manifest based on where your frequency is. So unless you can let that go, unless you can forget, like amnesia, the past 15 minutes and
changing the thought does that.
So great.
So I'm saying that there's a difference between letting go and changing the thought, because in letting go, the purpose is to continue to focus on the thing that you don't want in your experience anymore.
Nope.
Let it go. Let it go.
So don't
that
focus
thing
on
that
it.
you don't exactly. So how do you change that? You don't say, I'm not going to focus on this. I'm going to let this go. I'm not going to focus on
Of
this.
course.
I'm going to let this
That's
go.
what I'm saying. They're the
No.
same thing.
No, you say, okay, when we just had food just before this, and I was still in a shitty attitude for some reason.
Still kind of sounds like you are.
Because that's fine. I can take that hit right now. I don't care. So we got out. We walked out, right? And I was like, we said a few things to each other. Like, you were like, "Are you okay?"
What was
like,
that
about? We were like, the sandwich was really good. Like, there were things that we were saying that were positive. But then you, wonderful you, thank you, said something like, you said something about something. You said something, and it completely engaged me. It took me out of my misery. And then we started talking about that. And then all of a sudden, I felt myself feeling better. I'm like, oh my God, why am I feeling better? Because I'm not focused on what I had to let go.
Right.
I completely went, you
Yeah.
know, 160 or 180. I don't do math. And with your help. And that is the best benefit of changing the subject.
Ultimately, the new thought gives the value of letting go, which is not doting on it and circulating in that cycle anymore, for sure. And so your pathway was to create a new cycle, for sure. So now your new cycle was a slightly higher vibration, but it wasn't immediately like straight to the top. It was like the next stage up, you know, or a relative space.
It literally gave me an out to my mental torment.
Yeah. Why do we argue for our limitations so much?
I don't know.
Why are we so committed to limitations? Why do we have limiting beliefs that make us lower vibration?
I don't know.
Well, can you figure it out and get back to me?
Sure.
Okay. What's something that you've always shown up for?
Acting.
Yeah, like all your life, right? Like you gotta play, you're on time because you love it. I'm just enjoying the idea that you can't fake the funk. Everything is what it is because it just is. In the stoner, hilarious as that may sound, you either are gonna practice the piano or not, right, Rob? They're either going to learn the songs or write the songs or not. That's all there is to it. There's a million other things that play a role in someone's success for sure, but like you can't really force it. So like I've been enjoying that. It's like you can just allow, basically. It's like you have to do the work, but like why put stress on anything? Why try to be anything if you're not already on a definite path towards it?
Because maybe you want to be that thing.
More fulfillment, like more better fulfillment, right? You know that there's more fulfillment in the role that you're playing in an authentic way that resonates with your heart.
Yeah.
So why can't people just change their disciplines and start doing that 100% of the time?
Habit.
So what are people's habits based in? Why did their beliefs lead them to those patterns?
Maybe a lot of reasons. It could have been like social safety.
Programming, you mean?
Yeah. Upbringing.
Societal implications.
Yeah.
Follow the rules. Kind of the shapes that have been given to you.
I mean, it's not only the rules. Like, I know that you talk about the rules because that it affects you most, like, closely.
I just like to break them.
If you just look at like, you know, the beauty industry, for example.
Fashion?
Yeah, that has been...
I'm in it all the time.
Curated to benefit certain people.
Right.
And then it has been positioned to be something that women should aspire to. So, like, if you want to fit in your social structures, like, especially as a young person, high school, like, man, I just wanted all the clothes that all the cool kids had because I didn't understand that it wasn't their clothes. Sometimes it was, but like it was their energy and their personality and all of these things.
I just wanted to dress like DMX.
You've always had such a strong sense of self.
Thank you. I love it.
Yeah.
I still think that baby blue matching tracksuits and headbands and lugs are cool.
Me too.
Thank you, millennial.
Me too,
well.
for sure. Yeah. Probably most of the people listening probably agree with that.
Holler at your boy. Yo, how about this Can Expo remix I did?
I know.
I've been feeling myself. It's refreshing that we've had a day with a bit of a wave because I've been on 10, like I've been on 11 for weeks now. I made this crazy advertisement for Can Expo.
It's legendary. It's history. It'll be in history books.
I'm doing brand messaging in a comfortable, authentic way. So I remixed a popular rap song, and I just like shouted out all the brands like back to back in like a pretty smooth, slick way. And the response from the community has been amazing. Like people being like, "This is incredible."
And
like,
you
several
used
people.
a popular cover song. That's a very, very smart idea.
Thanks. Well, it's Busta Rhymes, Mariah Carey. It's not brand new, but it is a popular song in like hip hop culture.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was really good. Like the response from that, I was feeling like really good. And we've been keeping these kind of covers going. Shout out Basement Grow Show Grower Joe. He's inspired us so much. He's like, dude, you gotta like keep those can of covers going. And so every time
he wants us to quit the podcast.
No, he doesn't. He's just like, you need to pivot your assets. And I'm like, I agree. So we got to do
joking. Both. Listen, that's why.
We love this long form. How would we work through our shit if we didn't do it publicly?
So I want to.
Hear the song. Hear the rap.
Okay, we'll put it here.
Oh, you have something in your teeth.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
You want to perform it here?
Yeah.
Sure. Maybe if you roll up for me, I'll roll up for you. You know what we doing? We smoking double, baby. If you roll up for me, I'll roll up for you. You know what we doing?
We Can Expo.
If you roll two, then I roll two. Then we got a party for those who like to consume. We'll be at Can Expo all afternoon and the parties and the evening. March 22, we get weekend. Down for the roll. Yeah, we ride like that. I don't know the song. I don't think I know.
But you did really good.
I did pretty good there.
That was definitely the start of the first verse. You had most of it memorized.
So it's like
did the asset.
I did the asset. The crazy shout out part is it's like lots of abundance, lots of stuff to try. Quality brands. Here's a couple faves of mine. I'm going to tell you who, but not tell you why. You have to come and see for yourself and give it a try. OG Jerk with I-Core. Primo, we gon' ride for. Irie and Trees on board. Poraxia on my pores. For topical. And then I go Sense and Purpose Wildcard. Frankie Smoking Rising Star. Oceanic Bavada. And I'm just like, I made them all rhyme. And the brands that signed up with the show. Yeah, I'll play it for you. But yeah, it fits real well. And there's a company called You Feel You, and I'm like, and there's also a company called Irony. So I'm like, Irony, it gotta be, because You Feel You is feeling me. There's a company called The Legacy Market. It's like TLM The Legacy, smoking us or eating on some Jubilees. So I was like, it's really fun. It was like a cheerful, creative way to kind of like
Where can it be heard?
introduce. It's on our Instagram, and it's on our YouTube. So it's like probably I'll have it come up in this video. 2024.
Disciplined stoners hosting the main stage of Can Expo. Maybe if you roll it for me, I'll roll it for you. You know what we doing? We smoking double, baby. If you roll it for me, I'll roll it for you. You know what we doing? It's Can Expo. If you roll too, then I roll too. Then we got a party for those who like to consume. We'll be at Can Expo all afternoon and the evening, and the party's March 22. Weekend down for the ride, yeah, we out like that. We all vibe with each other when we share the plant. Quality at its best, these are favorite brands. Sampling on the floor, do you understand? We got Jordan Wagman, he be running the chef show. Grab some tickets and your best friend and say let's go. There's old things we're trying to unlearn and let go. That's why you need the updated Can Expo. We're here to guide each other and learn gracefully. Dignified consumption and burn tastefully. New terps on the strip that I can't taste fully. And if it's 420 at the lounge, don't wait for me. Maybe if you roll it for me, I'll roll it for you. You know what we doing, we smoking double. Baby, if you roll it for me, I'll roll it for you. You know what we doing.
It's Can Expo.
Plenty of abundance, lots of stuff to try. A bunch of companies, here's a couple faves of mine. I'ma tell you who, not tell you why. You'll have to come and see for yourself and give it a try. OG Jerk with Icor, Primo we gon' ride for. Irie and Trees on board, Poraxia on my pores. Sense and Purpose Wildcard, Teapotting Great White North. Frankie smoking Rosin Star, Oceanic Bubbler, OMG and Royalty. Callie's always spoiling me, irony it gotta be cause you feel you is feeling me. TLM the legacy, snacking on some jubilees. I am high, I do believe, I do you and you'll do B. Maybe if you roll it for me, I'll roll it for you. You know what we doing, we smoking double. Baby, if you roll it for me, I'll roll it for you. You know what we doing.
It's Can Expo. Yeah.
But yeah.
You'll have seen it by now if you're still watching this video.
Yeah.
And you still have food in your teeth. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. No, it was great. The canna covers are going well,
Don't
but I
eat in
wanted. This is
podcasts.
what I wanted to get back to is that like
Thank you for that, Ross.
you're like, okay, if you really wanted to, you would, right? Like someone hit me with this shout out Kate, our old neighbor Kate last summer, where she was like, if you really wanted to, you would. And I was like, ooh, that is not I feel defensive when I hear that, because here's the thing.
Kate's a G. Kate.
Because here's the thing is that like
We were gonna have her on. We needed more time to hang out personally before we had her on. She's a G. Sorry, continue.
Here's the thing.
If you wanted to, you would.
Oh yeah.
You're triggered.
Yes, thank you. And so when we got this great piece of advice from Basement Grow Show, actually, about like focusing more on the short form content, we don't disagree. It's just that where do you get the time? And then it's like, well, if you really wanted to, you would. And then it's like, fuck, then do we? Like, do you ever feel that? Do you ever not do something that you feel you could be doing and then like you hit yourself with that? Because that's like, I don't know if it's just true. I don't know if it's true.
What?
I don't know if the statement, if you really wanted to, you would, is true.
No, that's true.
So why don't we have more short form content?
There's as much as I can possibly make. I've been making short form content since he said that.
Hey, relax.
I am doing it.
You don't think your output could be any more
No.
because of the podcast?
Yeah.
Like if we didn't do a weekly podcast, you would be able to do much more.
Not really. It's more also just like how many canna covers is sufficient, really? Like, do you want to drop it every day? How well will they do if you drop a different one every day? I think you should drop one a week, and basically I have been.
Have you?
No, but like I've been working on them. I've had them.
Okay, so you are saying that you are. So, cause on my end, I'm like, fuck, I know that we need to create more short form content for our Instagram. We know that we need to.
You have like 3 lives. So like, I can't ask you to do anything else.
I know.
Yeah.
But I like.
Like, so right now.
So that's where I don't believe that if you really wanted to, you would. I don't believe that.
No, you really do want to be involved with whatever you're doing, however you're spending your time. that's ultimately what you're gonna have at the end of your life, like what you've done with it. Like, how did you focus your talent and give your time? That's what you participated in. That's it. There's no promised land. It's what you're doing.
Well, then,
Like,
if you like what you're doing, I guess that's a bonus.
You can move towards something for sure. There's like great things to manifest constantly in all parts of your life. But like, yeah, like I guess I put a third of my time in like Ellevan, like the music like avenue that like, see, like JP moved to LA and did like 100% of his time on that. And then he wrote for others and then wrote for himself and then had subcategories in that one focus. I'm doing like a third of my time for music, a third of my time for podcasts, a third of my time for like, whatever else I decide to do. So you get, and I'm getting bountiful manifestations from all three of them, but then also shout out, we just saw JP's record. Like, mwah, beautiful. And great focus and great talent. But like, you get what you focus on. Like that, and so with you, it's like, you can say like, I agree
with that.
Yoga's like comfortable, but like, it's pretty much neck and neck with acting. And then the podcast is like the guest in the house. And I accept that. Like,
yeah, like yoga's given me more than acting.
Yoga's kept us fed. I also cheer yoga on. Yoga's kept a roof over our head lots of months. I'm just saying, like, and I have it too. Like, and I have examples around me that I can understand where the energy flow goes, and it's all positive. But like, it's like, you are what's right now. You're not what you wish you were. You are what you're doing right now. Like, how did you spend your day today? And then, so that's your micro or your macro. And then so that's your micro, and then you go macro, and it's like, how did you spend your year? How many days like that in a week, and how many months like that?
I think you got to get real clear, because like, when you're reflecting in this way,
you got to be about it. Whatever you're about, you got to be about it.
Enough.
It won't ever be good enough. Why do you think people keep trying? Why do you think fucking Nile Rodgers still has a band and still plays guitar?
But there has to be a sense of enoughness.
There has to be a sense of fulfillment. Fulfillment and enoughness are not the same. I'm hungry, but I still want food tomorrow. Or sorry, I'm full. I was hungry, I got full, but I still want food tomorrow. So I'm fulfilled right now, like I'm full, but I still have a desire. Like, every show I play, I'm like, oh my God, that was so blessed, so fun. I got these like 3 ideas of how I'm gonna fine tune it for next time.
Yeah.
And then when I go next time and I nail those things, and I'm like, good, and I realize something else that I want, or I dream of something bigger, and I'm like, it would be great to do this with this type audience. And then I manifested this dope corporate gig the other week, and I'm like, just out of nowhere, rap concert, 300 people, 9 a.m.
You, yeah. Love you, yeah. Love you, yeah. Love you, yeah. All across the country, similar times, the experience by design. A human-centered company with a technology eye that comforts me. Tech is the conduit. People live the connection and they respond to it. Driven to make a difference, and what's the difference? You're relentlessly curious. 43 years in the game. Harry's there, captivating change. I love to stand by the reins. I can see it building on the way. 2025, 1 billion gaps with a beam. You can do it, I can see the team. Partner of the year if you ask most needs. And finally, the people that been asking me. All I see is winners, all up in the building. Push it to 1 billion, dreamers undelivered. All I see is winners, all up in the building. Push it to 1 billion.
So weird.
So amazing. And they loved it. And it was a custom song. And yeah, that was a product of me, I believe, remaining positive through kind of having a not so favorable experience with like getting hired to do a custom song like last year, and I learned to let it go. So then there was like something positive on like that remaining portion of my like performance career. It's like a subcategory, like that freestyle guy performance that used to be on the streets busking is now getting shopped around the corporate. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's one avenue of my Ellevan umbrella. And I do like when you're often out or doing something or acting or at the yoga studio, I just sit in there. I sit in that house and I just think from there. And I think about like, oh yeah, I gotta publish that song. I gotta register that on SoundScan or whatever. I gotta like register that on SoCount. I gotta send that person there, whatever. Like it's like you gotta literally decide you're that and then sit in that for a while, and then the ether around you, the friends you make, the people who come on your side, and all these cool things
Which
that happen.
side?
Your side, like as a person trying to give their gift to the world, as a person trying to be that
I meant
artist.
semen.
Anyway, when he's a comedian. So that's the other thing in her life. She's a stand-up comedian.
There's 4 lives.
4 lives.
Yeah, I have yoga,
And she has a
acting,
girlfriend on the side.
podcast, and comedy.
Comedy and actor.
Those are
No,
my-
actor. She fucking pays ACTRA, bro. She pays IMDb. She has a star rating on IMDb. She has an agent that she pays. She has
Yeah,
like,
they're not the same.
She's an avenue
they're
of
two
an
different-
actor. She's like another revenue.
Seinfeld.
No, but
They
you
can
know,
they can do.
he has a show with
There's-
Larry David, and then he
Yeah.
also gets booked as a stand-up comedian.
There's a
They're
lot.
different, totally.
And he was a comedian first. Which is generally how it goes. It goes comedians
But it's
turn
reversed for
into
you.
actors. But
You
yeah.
went backwards.
Yeah.
And I went the other way. I started as a comedian. I started as an actor, then comedian, then rapper, then like whatever I am now.
I always thought a comedian was the hardest.
Comedian is the hardest.
If you come up with a great joke, you don't know it's a great joke until you perform it for an audience.
Yeah.
As a singer, and as a songwriter,
You can
you write
identify.
a great song, you know it.
You know it.
You feel it on the way home. I mean, you know you write it.
Yeah.
But a comedian, you're stuck. You got to give it to the audience before.
I think
That's cool.
I think all
That's a cool
comedians
point.
have the joke. There's at least one joke that's like, I know that this is funny, and all of you guys, every time I do this, are wrong, and they won't let it go. I think that every comedian has that joke.
I
for
believe
sure.
so too.
Yeah.
Stick to your shitty jokes, comedian.
Yeah.
We've had some great comedians on the podcast in this very room. We've broken down the art of stand-up with like Nitish, Keith Pedro.
Yeah, Norm wasn't here. He was
Norm-
at our place.
Yeah, but we've had some great comedians. Yeah, it's cool.
But
It's a good-
Angelica,
Oh my God,
Sandra.
dude, Angelica's crazy.
Yeah.
She's bars.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sandra, she's literally making change in like the Canadian Constitution about comedy.
JFL
important.
just asked for insurance, and they're not doing their Montreal show. Did you hear that?
No,
They'll
what do you mean
probably
insurance?
cancel. They'll,
Canceled Toronto too.
did they cancel Toronto? I hadn't seen that.
Montreal canceled, Toronto canceled.
Yeah. So that
What?
the
What?
government needs to. They're broke.
JFL?
Yeah.
Just for laughs?
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's like the government really needs to help them. Like
Yo,
honestly,
they don't want you to laugh. That's
Don't they
medicine.
give them any help at all?
The only medicine
think
the
they do,
government
but,
wants you to
like,
have
for
comes in
me,
a needle or a pill.
This is almost as big as getting Air Canada out of debt. Like JFL is a Canadian thing.
What
like
else did you watch on
it's like
TV
as
growing up?
important as Tim Hortons, you know, like it's,
Team-
and so they need I really think
It's international.
that I know it is, and it's a great thing to bring to our cities, and I would hate to see it go.
Get your
but
shit together.
But I also know that like
Support JFL.
they don't pay a lot of their like
Comedians.
Comedians.
So that's the thing about
So-
wealth consciousness. It's
that's
we
a
tried
problem.
to,
That's
yeah.
that's also a problem. So like we need to figure that out.
everyone needs to step that up. I mean,
Yeah.
like artists being undervalued definitely needs to be dreamed of as a thing of the past. Like to play at bars, like even how some musicians get treated, it's like
Yeah,
can't
unless
pay
you
your
want to
rent and
be a
beer.
starving artist, you shouldn't have
you
to
don't
be.
have to be. Yeah. And sometimes it's part of your journey too. And I've certainly gone through those times where you eat nothing but beans for
Corporate gigs
weeks.
are good.
What's that?
Corporate gigs.
Corporate gigs are where it's at, man.
They pay well.
But see, I put a lot, and you know firsthand, I put a lot of time in those small local rooms where you're lucky if you're getting a free beer sometimes.
Oh, God.
Fucking getting my elbow grease in so I could then sell myself the corporate gig. So there is light at the end of the tunnel if you...
How many bar managers said, well, I'll give you the opportunity to play my bar. So people can come and hear you.
I still get a fucking kick out of it when I hear it. Like,
I'm pretty
it's
sure
so
now
funny.
in Los Angeles at the open mics you have like a 2-drink minimum buy. Like you have
To
to buy
buy.
yourself in the comedy scene when you get there for sure.
I remember
and
buying
I'm gonna
tickets to
do
some.
it.
Well, I mean, you'd be surprised when it comes to like being booked thanks to the internet these days. Things are slightly different. Yes, that's true what you're saying, but like when you connect on Instagram, that's like the power of social media is like affirmative marketing so people understand that like one, potentially you're a bringer. Like if you have fans, you have fans.
Yeah, fans, right.
Like,
Yeah.
like that's you. Like, so that's the business, like right there. Like when you first started doing those shitty basement shows on like Far Dundas and you actually had fans show up and all the comedians were commenting on it because usually they're only performing for each other. They're like, who are these people? There was like 6 girls
Even
there.
upon my return, I brought 16 people to Saltos.
Saltos, which is in the fucking middle of nowhere off there. And it's amazing. So I'm like, okay, I don't think those shows paid you, did they?
Shout out John Morley gave me half of my ticket sales.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So shout out big. So that's good.
Like
so,
that was, and
so
that was
respect.
Yeah, that was.
So that
I don't think he probably does even that with anybody, but
But it was so apparent.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice.
I brought 16 people. So.
Shout out. That's really nice. We love that. But it's not promised. That's a kind gesture. And that's, well, I mean, it's good
That
business.
shouldn't be. The producer and the comedian shouldn't get 50-50. No, absolutely. Unless the comedian is as
Yeah,
involved
as-
in the production
Yeah.
of the.
But half your ticket sales is fair if it was so apparent. But anyway,
that's
regardless,
right.
it was kind.
And even at the big level, I mean, at the level JP's at, he loses money on tour.
He loses money on tour.
Loses money on tour.
Yeah. But it's worth the brand recognition in the marketplace. Yeah. And again, those corporate gigs make up for it. Yeah. But and it's the presentation, and the more you grow as an artist, I feel it in myself wanting to do stage design. Like someone brought it up to us today. They're like, "Do you know Up in Smoke tour, which is Dr. Dre, Eminem, epic rap tour back in the day?" And they had like a liquor store on stage and a lowrider come out, and it started with a robbery, and it's theatrical.
Yeah.
And
You're putting on a show.
exactly, and I come from theater acting, so I very much wanna uphold that presentation, but you do need the resources
Yeah.
to bring that to life, and that's part of it, and the investment in it. So that's cool. But yeah, I mean, shit. What were you just saying?
I was just saying, life's good.
Overall,
Life's good. Which of the 4?
yeah. Which of the 4? Yeah. So that's
And I'm like, my goal on top of all of that was to be a better family member, which I think I'm sort of semi getting better at.
That's the one that often suffers too. When we're doing good professionally, you got to watch your shadows, that you're not like ignoring your family, and or just or your friends, like those relationships that do hold you down, like in a personal space
Yeah.
too. Like to try to tend to all these gardens in the human life is like pretty wild and like challenging. So that's
Yeah, and then we're
important.
trying to be fit.
I mean, fuck, Rob was saying, he's like, we're trying to stay on top of this shit now these days. But like, yeah, sometimes you also need a fucking burger or two.
wanted to, you would.
But that's true, though. It's so true. All of
That's what
this.
this should be called.
Everything that
you
we
really
just
wanted to, you would.
everything that we just talked about, whether it's challenging or easy or delightful or, whatever, it's like you ultimately get to make your choice by like what you show up for every day. Like you're not trapped. You're not trapped in anything. But you could be trapped in your own patterns and your own habits and own addictions and cycles that are sometimes you think are beyond your control. Like, to beat your own programming is next level. Like, requires too much awareness to like beat your own programming. It requires you to like become sentiently aware of your orbit. So when you're having familiar emotional feelings, often I think we used to identify this thing called upper limiting problem. So whenever something big and exciting and positive would happen, we would immediately sabotage our mood or a situation or a relationship because it was almost like subconsciously, this is too good.
Well, our worthiness level just
The
wasn't
worthiness.
up to speed with the gift, the
So
celebration.
unnecessary. So unnecessary. So we realized we had to take time out to start appreciating self. Yeah. And like let that patience ruminate, to be able to sit in the calmness of acceptance and like know you're valuable and good. That's not innate.
Yeah, both of us have been like saying that a lot. Like, I'm good.
I'm good.
I love me.
I'm good. I'm out here.
You got to reaffirm it, because if
Yeah.
someone, if you feel as though someone doesn't think that of you,
What's all in your head?
it's so shaky.
It's
Like,
all in your head, though. And most times it doesn't even matter. That person, they don't really fucking either care about you or whatever. Like, we all put these ideas in our head as
I know,
symbols
we tell
to react
crazy
to.
stories.
We make stories
I
up
actually,
in our head.
this is true.
We make stories up.
So I teach at a yoga studio. We know that.
1/5 of her life.
A woman left a class recently, and the woman who was beside the woman who left came out after class and said, "Oh, did I do something to like scare that woman away?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And she was like, "Well, I adjusted my mat, and then that woman got up and left. So I thought that it was because of me." And I was like, "Nah, she had a headache. Like, she just got up and left because she didn't want to be in the space anymore." Like, and she told me that. The woman who left mentioned that. So I knew that, and I was just thinking, man, you probably spent like the last 25 minutes of your class being like, oh, that woman, like, I don't know, just like ruminating over
Yeah.
this like one thing, and that was not true at all.
Created it in the first place.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, I probably do that more than I realize.
Yeah, we make shit up in our head.
I'm really trying to watch my thoughts and what I'm saying and my words. It's important. I know
Well,
it's important.
The thing is that humans are meaning-making machines, and we're very creative people. And if you're not giving your brain an avenue to express creativity, then you're going to spend it all in like these personal shadows. So just like you need to exercise to move physical energy, I think your spirit has a certain amount of creative energy it wants to expel. And I think instead of that going through the heart, like through art, through craft, through painting, through writing jokes or whatever, even editing or something, creating something, I think it like manifests in the head, and then it starts like to take over, and it starts to like affect the mind. Like the mind's idea of things gets distorted when this like energy flushes through.
Yeah, we should look at it like a cold or something. Like we should look at it as like a flu for thought. Like if ever, like when
This creative energy?
like if you go off on a tangent. So if you let
I don't think it has
mind
to be labeled negative.
start to spiral.
But then okay, but I'm saying to understand it objectively. Like you don't have to say it's like toxic like the flu. You could also just accept it as creative energy. So if you're going, "Oh my God, Barbara hates me, blah, blah, blah." Well, that your mind just wants to write a screenplay. So why don't you remove yourself from the one being attacked or, you know, being personally involved, and then use that creative energy going through the brain. I get it from songs. Like I'll write songs. until I don't care. Like personal drama, I'm like, that's fine. Like they can
your
feel
therapy.
like that. Like I get to
You
do.
work it out.
Yeah.
I
get
think
to do
artists
that.
work out a lot of their shit
Yeah.
through their art.
1000%.
If not all.
Oh my gosh.
If not all.
Like look at Adele go manifest another heartbreak so she can have another smash hit.
And like actors too, like.
Oh, you
man.
guys you keep a dreamy, dramatic life so you can keep those chops up, buddy.
Yeah. You
Keep
really,
those tear
it's-
ducts open.
Yeah, you're like, how far can I feel? I feel that's what artists do. They're like, how far can I feel?
How far can I feel in this space? That's so true.
And then once they hit a new high or a new low, they're like, yes.
Fuck, yeah. How far can I feel? That's a great one. Beautiful. Will do. Wow,
And
what a
that's
gem.
and that's when, yeah, contrast, you can look at it and be like, oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
because
contrast.
I've been given a real gift out of this.
Everything's a gift. Life is a gift.
Isn't that oh no, life is a banquet is the
Auntie
quote.
Mame, life is a banquet. Eat, because most poor suckers are starving to death. Right?
I don't know.
Life is a banquet. Is it eat?
Life is a banquet.
Auntie Mame. Do
Because
you-
most poor
Because
suckers
they're
are starving to death.
Do you know that movie, Robert? Auntie Mame? Back in the day, classic. Like
I don't really know it.
19. Yeah, it's awesome. Like 40s or 50s.
Yeah, I think it was the 50s.
It's
Yeah, there was a song.
All night long. Life is a.
Highway.
Life is a highway. I'm gonna ride it.
When that
all
country
night
band
long.
came out with the. What was that country band that came out with the country version of
Don't
it?
break my heart. My shaky break.
No, they came out with a version of Life is the Highway.
Think you'll understand. Okay. This is
I won't break your heart.
Okay, thank you. Was that Billy Ray Cyrus?
I don't know.
Who later had Miley Cyrus, who has that song, I can buy myself flowers.
Yeah.
And then we made a Canna cover of that. Go watch it on our Instagram.
Yeah, I was like, where is he going with this?
Yes!
He
Drove
did
that home.
He did it again, folks.
Ding! Okay, love you
Thanks
guys.
so much for watching. See you next week.
Thanks for watching. Shout out Meta Milky Way that we are in. Rob for hanging out with us. Subscribe, share with a friend.
See you at Can Expo.
See you at Can Expo March 2 weekend.
Sampling on the floor,
What?
as per the cover song.
Sampling on the floor?
Yeah. If you have cancel,
Not
you
for
can come
you.
through. Well, you can get cancel. in the
Yeah,
meantime. You can get
that's
cancel.
true.
Go get your cancel. It's easy.
It's worth the investment.
Yeah. How much does it cost to get your cancel?
I don't know.
What is cancel?
It's like Canada's for weed smart serve. Remember?
You know, when you become a waiter,
Like
and you,
waiters
or
need
if
Smart
you work
Serve?
with food, you have to get like a government certificate.
It's a way for them to milk people, their fucking system.
Okay. I'll
Yeah,
check.
it's the thing for cannabis. You
And
have
so
to,
you,
So I can serve cannabis?
so you can basically,
Sell it.
Yeah.
like you have
Yeah.
to any of your like wherever you go to a retail
Retailer?
store, all of those
The
retaily
bartenders
peoples
have cancel.
have this cancel
And it's-
certificate,
it's
and
like
we
a
do.
little- Yeah, it's like
Well,
a
I
have
just
ours.
get it for the gallery. I mean, I don't sell it, but I just give it away.
right. Well, then I don't think you'd even need your cancel. Well, it'd be fine to have.
you have it.
Anyway.
Be good to have because then you can come to more events with us.
Yeah.
Well,
And then you can get like up to, what is it, 30 grams? How do they even check that? Like
And then if
30
you ever
grams?
want to get a job at a retail store,
Just chill out, smoke weed, and sell weed all day. We'll open up a place on Venice Beach, and then I'll be down there just selling
Yeah.
weed. But then we won't can sell. What is the states must have that?
they must.
The states must
Do
have
you?
that.
Are you
if you're
in
in
the States?
California,
Do you
or
know about this?
Yeah. Do you bud tenders in America? Do you have to go through a thing like that? Let us know. That'd be cool. Cool to know. Oh, Vegas. We should definitely.
Shout out this guy I met a couple days ago named Mark. He came to the yoga studio, and he lives in California on like that land that we saw that documentary about in the 60s where all the hippies took off and lived off grid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he lives in a community. He's fucking sick. He's like, he watched a couple podcasts.
What's up, Mark?
Yeah. He's like, if you guys come through, like, you can stay.
I want to smoke weed with you, Mark.
Yeah.
That's sick. I'm not
Yeah.
hearing about this until now.
I know.
You've been so busy with your 5 lives. I'm
'Kay,
so impressed.
Shout out, Mark.
Yeah, totally. See
Isn't
you
that
at
a great
Can
way
Expo.
to end the podcast?
Yeah, perfect story. Okay,
See
bye.
you at Can Expo.
See
Think
you,
about
bye.
what tattoos you're gonna get.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a couple tattoos that weekend. Okay, love you. Bye.
Ooh, these ones are tight on the earsies. We need.
You ever see something so true that you couldn't unsee it? Something that you just knew would serve you. Whether it be self-awareness, plant medicine, a lover, a career. That's what we get down to here. Welcome to Disciplined Stoners, the gateway drug to mindfulness. Spark up or don't, and enjoy the show. Glad you're here.